You know what? I'm going to go ahead on and start this recording because me and preparation and all that kind of stuff, I like to stay in the flow. I want to catch it while it's hot, still in my spirit, thriving and ready to be put out. But this morning, I woke up around, I would say 5-ish, and I just woke up, and what came to my spirit was about, because for one, I only like to come before the people when I feel I'm being inspired to come before the people. Every now and then I may come with my own inspiration, but then I still look at it as the universe, God, Most High, giving me the message or giving me whatever is in my heart. But I really like to come before the people when I feel like God gave me a specific message to give to the specific people. So that's mainly my focus. I want to come with a message from the universe. If it comes inspired of me personally, my heart, I still know it's from the universe. But I like it straight off the presses. I like it, that's how I like to bring the message to the people, when I know it's straight off the throne, straight off the press. But in every blue moon, I come straight from my heart, which I know is still in sync. But I woke up this morning and I really don't even know the topic of this message. But what was in my heart, what was in my spirit when I woke up this morning, all I heard was the ladies that was in the cave waiting on the bridegroom. I thought it was three, but it's a parable in the Bible regarding ladies waiting on the bridegroom, and they had lamps. So what the Most High was telling me, I woke up and got in study, because I really sometimes don't study until I know that God is leading me to study. I just don't study to study. I have to be inspired, led to study. But when I was led to study, it was to study about lamps. Okay, so I started researching lamps, and it led me to Gideon. Let's see. All right, Gideon. And it comes from, Gideon was a judge back in Israelites, back in those days, back in the Old Testament. Gideon, he was a judge. And I want us to take what I say, and as I'm breaking the word up, putting it to today's analogy, what's done in the spirit is being symbolically represented here in the natural. We could read what's going on in the spiritual matters according to what we see in the natural. And you're going to see an example from when I give it to you, also from Gideon. But Gideon is a judge, and I'm going to be coming from Judges 6 verses, chapter 6, verse 12. Let's just say verse 11 on down to verse verse 11 through 24, somewhere in there. Okay, excuse me. It's kind of chilly. As a matter of fact, it's been here in Tampa, it's been cold past couple of mornings. I'm like, golly, what's up with this weather? But yes, it's a little chilly in the air. I need to close my window. But anyway, back to, again, I woke up with God it's like God whispered in my ear and said, the brides waiting on the bridegroom and lamps. So I kind of vaguely remembered the parable, but I had to go look it up and see what it was all about. So the subject is supposed to be, I thought, surrounding lamps. And I'll share, we'll get down to what all of this is meaning. Because when your spirit is speaking to you, when God is speaking to you, it's basically going to be in signs and in not literally speaking to you. No, you're going to have to read what God is saying through signs and the word, your heart. You're going to have to see it in your natural environment, what is being said to you. It's not going to be, you must do this. No, I mean, it could be. I'm not going to put God in a box. It can't be. But we got to become familiar with how God communicates to us. Okay. But anyway, it was surrounding what God whispered in my ear, and my spirit was lamps. And he gave the parable. But again, I'll go back to that. So I started out in Gideon. I don't know how that went like that or whatever, but it started out in Gideon. So Gideon chapter 11, and it's like God spoke messages all through, and I'm reading out of this old book. It's been around. My son's great grandmother passed it down to me when she died. This was hers. And this woman was 97 years old and wasn't sick, still was traveling out of town, Atlanta, and we're in Tampa. She'll drive by herself to Atlanta, going to conventions and things. But this was a spunky lady, full of strength, full of mind, and she had a car accident, not hurt or anything, went in the hospital. But when she came out of that hospital, her health deteriorated every day. I don't know, take that as you will. But again, I'm coming from Judges chapter 6, verse 11 on down. Okay. So it says, and there came an angel of the Lord and sat under an oak which was in Orpah, that pertained unto Joash and his son Gideon. Let's see. And the angel of the Lord, let's go to 12. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him. Okay, that's another thing that God had me to share in another video. We will have to become even used to knowing that the present help in the time of trouble is going to show up. These angels are going to be showing up in our midst. If you believe in angels, no matter how we believe it, but there will be present help in the time of trouble. We have no fear. We have no fear. Okay? We have no fear. I'm trying to get this to where I'll be able to do multiple things. But anyway, okay, so let us be familiar with the angels that will be showing up in our present help in the time of trouble. So the angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, the Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. The name Gideon means warrior who cuts down. Okay, Gideon means warrior who cuts down. Okay, I'm not going to go there. Okay, and again, I'm in Judges chapter 6, verse 13 now. And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles? Remember, we're coming into the day where miracles is going to be the lifestyle. it is already supposed to be our lifestyle. But here Gideon is saying, and again, please listen to what I say. To them that have ears to hear, let them hear. Listen to what I say and relate it to the current events of today. Let what's done here be a symbolic of what's going on in our natural environment. Let what's being done in the spirit, spoken through the word, be a symbolic of what's happening in our natural environment. Okay, Gideon asking, where's all the miracles? Why is all this stuff coming against us? Why is all this happening to us? Where are the miracles? Did not the Lord bring us up to Egypt? God led us here, so why is all this happening? If we know we're here in God, then why is all this happening? But now the Lord hath forsaken us. A lot of us feeling the way it looked like God forsaken us. The way things want to become a crown on our head, all of this stuff that's going on in our current, these times, such a time as this, has God forsaken us? But now the Lord hath forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. Midian means strife. Check this out. Midian means strife, rule, government. Subjugation, continuation. Okay, I can't even read my own handwriting. Okay, Midian means strife, rule, government, continuation of subjugation. I had to look the word subjugation. What does subjugation mean? Remember, we're talking about Gideon. Gideon is a judge, but God is sitting here. The angel is sitting here talking to Gideon under a tree, telling Gideon what is going on, explaining to Gideon what is going on. Okay, so, and the Midianites is the ones that's governing the government, putting this rule, this strife, this enslavement, force is conquering, making submissive. And also in here is brute military force. But I wanted to look up the word subjugation. I didn't know what that meaning meant. Okay, I didn't know what the word subjugation means. I looked it up. Oh, come on. Where is my phone? One moment. Okay, I looked up the word subjugation. Please let this be. Don't let me be getting. Thank you, Father, that you're giving me this message to flow. Okay. Let me go to gallery. I took a picture. I hope this is the picture that I took. Because let me make sure. Oh, wow. No, that's another thing. Oh, this is going to be so good. Okay. Okay. So, subjugation. Listen to what subjugation means. To treat yourself, your wishes, or your beliefs as being less important than other people, or their wishes and their beliefs. To defeat people or a country and rule them. That's what subjugation means, subjugate. But did you hear that? The first description of subjugation or subjugate, it means to treat yourself, your wishes or your beliefs as being less important than somebody else's wishes, beliefs, or wishes, your beliefs, or treat yourself, your wishes, your beliefs. Why are you, okay, that's what subjugation is. If we are not putting, forgive me, a little stuff like that be bothering me. I got OCD. That's just me. I'm a perfectionist. It gets to me. But anyway, be serious, Wanda. Okay, thank you, Father. All right. Subjugation. If we're not in the situation of being home at this time, if we are not at home and using this time to focus on our dreams, focus on our visions, focus on our wishes, focus on ourselves, building ourselves, getting connected with Source, building our dreams, our plans. If we are not using this time as such a time as this, and I keep focusing on these times as such a time as this, because we are in a different time. Whether we're entering in, they keep talking about 5G. I heard Ralph Smart speak the other day, expanding on 5G. And Ralph Smart is a young man. He's very good at helping us grow in building our inner selves, you know. So he's a very good listener, Ralph Smart, S-M-A-R-T, Ralph. But he was talking about 5G. And what he said was so good, because the Most High is letting us know that whether we're entering into the fifth dimension or we're already in the fifth dimension, some of us are already in the fifth dimension. Others are entering in the fifth dimension. So when I was bringing up Ralph Smart, he mentioned 5G. And he say 5G or 5D, meaning fifth dimension. And I like that. I like that. But 5G, we better be trying to get in this 5D, entering into this fifth, entering in, choking me. Entering into this fifth dimension, 5D. Stop focusing on this 5G, and our focus is supposed to be on something else. We're centering our minds and our everything too much on the outer, when we're needing to be focused on the inner, building the inner. Find out what God wants you to co-labor with him. Work with him. He's not going to do anything with you unless you're working with him. You got to work with him. He's not working for you. No, you got to work with him so it can be done. Okay, so 5G, 5D. No, we're in the fifth dimension. Like again, some of us are already there and some people are entering into the fifth dimension. But we can't treat, the definition of subjugate was to treat yourself or your wishes and beliefs as being less important than somebody else or their wish or their belief. No, get out of that. You are important. You are special. You are God. There's nobody over, nobody. No, we are all one. We are. the same. Okay, so that's the definition of Midian. Is this government putting rule and dominion over us in a way that allows no freedom? Is that what it's looking like? It's putting dominion in a way that it's starting to look like no freedom? Oh, we've heard of those days, slavery. You know, we familiar with, okay? All right, and another thing before I finish, that was another thing that brought to my attention was to defeat people or a country and rule them in a way that allows them no freedom. Medical ethics. Why did medical ethics show up in this? Oh my gosh. Please, Father, let this come forth as it is in my spirit. Why did medical ethics come forth? I'm looking up subjugation, and now we're all the way in medical ethics. Medical ethics. First, and then it describes what medical ethics' first obligation is. The first, and this is, woo. The first obligation of medical ethics is to protect individuals from each other and from institutions, from being ignored or subjugated by others. This is a medical ethic. The first thing the medical, I don't even, yes I do, yes I do, yes I do. Oh my gosh. Medical ethic, the first obligation of this medical industry, the medical ethics, the medical principles, the medical's morals, the medical's principles, the medical's heartbeat. Their first concern supposed to be regarding protecting individuals from each other and from institutions. I'm going to get to this. I took a picture of what the definition, original definition. So medical's first principle, and when have we seen this? Medical, they got something to do with protecting from each other and also from institutions. We got to break this down. From being ignored or subjugated by others. So that medical's first primary obligation is to protect us from each other, protect us from institutions, from being ignored and being subjugated, from being considered less important, from being not considered treated less than others. So the first obligation of the medical principles, the medical's morals, the medical ethics is to protect us from institutions that want to treat certain people as less than others, as not as important. Is that the medical's obligation to protect people from institutions? From the government? It's your medical obligation? That doesn't look anything seem like the medical obligation that I see around or about or as their priority. I don't know why I'm getting on medical ethics right now. Maybe as time as these, as such a time as this. What's going on? What is going on? Medical ethics? What's going on? Medical hospitals? Whoever's doing treatment? I don't know. Who fitting in this category of medical ethics? But your first obligation, and I had to ask God, I say, this don't look like that. I ain't never heard of medical being there to protect us from each other and also protect us from institutions, from being subjugated from institutions. I've never heard that before. The medical is not supposed to allow institutions to take. Get off my phone, will you? But do you understand the medical? Okay, let me get on course because I want this to be timely. I want this to be in a timely fashion. I want this to be in a timely fashion. Medical ethics. So I guess I may not. Oh my gosh. Okay, so medical ethics is supposed to protect us from each other and institutions from being ignored or subjugated. So institutions are subjugating, and what that brought to me was, I told my mom a while back ago, Father, please let this be according to what's supposed to be coming out. I've been told my mom when all of this first started out, I say, Mama, this stuff seemed like whatever ain't doing nothing but using humanity as a guinea pig. I feel like this whole world is a major big laboratory. I feel like we're guinea pigs in a laboratory. To me, it feels like a test. We're being laboratory. We're in a laboratory. We're being But anyway, and then this comes up from institutions subjugating people. Are we being subjugated? Are we being, in the medical ethics, are we being used by institutions? Are medical ethics not standing on their ethics of not having people considered to be less than others or not important and being used, subjugated from institutions in these laboratories? They're using human beings. Okay, let me read the definition. Because I asked the Father, I say, this don't sound like the medical industry. Where did that come from? It came down all the way from like 1800s. That was the medical ethics of the 1800s. And here it is. I took a picture of Wikipedia giving a definition regarding now 1970 medical ethics. It say, since the 1970s, the growing influence of ethics in contemporary medicine can be seen in the increasing use of institutional review boards to evaluate experiments on human subjects. The establishment, did you hear the rooster crow? To evaluate experiments on human subjects, the establishment of hospital ethics committees, the expansion of the role of clinician ethics, and the integration of ethics into many medical school curricula. I don't think they got the same curricula as the 1800s. What school curricula of medical? And where is this medical ethics? It's in the institutional review boards to evaluate experiments on human subjects, the establishment of hospital ethics committees, to them that have ears to hear, let them hear. That's deep. This ain't the 1800s. These are not the 1800s. We are in 2020. What's going on out there? We had better be learning to find our strength, our wisdom, our courage, our protection, our guidance, our very life needs to be coming from something else than what's out here. Our very life needs to be coming from it has to, or we're going to be, as they're already been doing and gonna do it even more so, use human beings as experiments. And that's what I feel like all this, what's going on now. The whole world is a major laboratory. Everybody is an experiment. Guinea pigs. But anyway, let me get back to Gideon, because there is victory, baby. There is victory. What's going on or what the devil means for evil, God turns it around for good. So we need to be in that good. Okay, so now let me go back to Gideon. And again, Gideon means warrior. One who cuts down. Woo, one who cuts down, warrior. Midian means strife, govern, rule, dominion. Want to take your freedom. It want to put others above and less, consider some more important than others. You're not important. And even yourself. Gideon means you even yourself are considering yourself, your dreams, your visions, your beliefs, yourself as being less than others. Oh, my dream is not important. Oh, I'm not important. You better get out of that, and you better find your importance from within. You stand in the important. You got too much feminine energy. You got to put that masculine energy with you to balance it, so you could get the courage to come out and do what's in your heart. If you're fearing while you're in this situation, saved as spile as it exceeds the maximum length. Okay, I hope you're saving to my SD card. Okay. As we're like I said, as we're in these times locked in, if you're not feeling the courage to build what's in your heart, to work on your vision, your dream during these times, as a time as this, pray and ask God to give you that courage. You got too much feminine energy. You need to stir up that masculine energy so it can be balanced, and you come on out. When this is over, you come out with that power, with that courage to fulfill your dream, to fulfill your vision, to fulfill yourself, to build yourself. You need to be working on yourself. If you don't have that courage, then that means you got to be working on yourself. Okay, Midian, we know Midian is the one out there putting all this mess on the world, trying to do whatever, but it's going to be cut down. Gideon going to cut it down. Gideon is a warrior, the one who cut down. Okay, so I'm in Judges 6, verse 14 now. Okay, so Gideon got to the point, okay, where is all these miracles you talking about? Okay. And forgive me, because the temperature is dropping and I need something over my arms. Okay, and Gideon said unto him, Where's all the miracles? Why is all this happening to us? Let me turn the phone back so I can kind of see and read at the same time. Why is all this happening to us? Where are the miracles? And why are you forsaking us, God? Why are we forsaken? So a lot of people might be feeling this way. Why is all this happening? Why is God allowing this to happen? Why are we being delivered into hands? Why are they being able to use us as laboratory, as guinea pigs? Why are they using the world as a guinea pig? Why is this happening, God? This is Gideon's spirit. And the Lord looked upon him and said, go in this might. What might? What are you talking about? And thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? God is preparing people in these times to go in a certain kind of power. And that is us. Let me tell you something. We keep thinking we got to fight these battles like we got to duke it out hand to hand. We are not in picketing, rioting, those days, Martin Luther King days. Those days are not now. We can't fight these new battles with those old weapons. We have got to use weapons of warfare that are spiritual. These are spiritual things that's coming against us and always have been. But I guess at time God may have been using different weapons during different times. But at this time, God is ready to show up and show out. We are in a time where God himself will be doing this. And there are people that are being prepared to represent God here on this earth. That is where I'm coming back around to the lamps. That is what the lamps was meaning. I'm going ahead of myself. Being less important. Okay, I wasn't reading there. I was reading from the Bible. Okay, he said, go in this might. Go in the might and know that God is with you. That's the might. He say, go in this might and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. How are we going to save people from this? What's going on around? How are people going to be saved from this? Ain't no doctor finna save you. Woo! Ain't no doctor finna get. We can't trust the doctors. They part of this committee, institutional, what kind of meeting? Institutional board meetings. The hospitals are part of this institutional meetings. This ain't the 1800s where there was a medical ethic that they stood on. In these times, at such a time as this, you can't trust this medical ethics they stand on. They sit around their table, institutional governmental board meetings. They use us people as, and we got to get from under their power, from under their control. 5G, 5D. Ralph Smart, I like that. 5D, fifth dimension. God is showing up and showing out. You can believe what you want, but you got to start believing it first, because that's the first step. That we done with the believing, ain't no believing. And then we got to the point of I am. You know, we started with the believing, believe in your heart. Now we with the confessing with your mouth. We started with all the I am confirmations, I am affirmations. This was a process. And now manifestation. God, the realm, the dispensation, the dimension of believing, that dimension is over. The dimension of confessing. You'll have what you say. Believe it and confess with your mouth. You'll have what you say. Those are dimensions. We done did the believing. We done did the confessing. And now it's the manifesting. We are in the manifestation dimension. We were already walking in, individuality. But now this thing is coming together as a massive coming together to cut it down. I'm speaking of us as one, not as as a one person Gideon. No, I'm speaking of Gideon as a people, as a massive coming together. They're going to be coming through with one voice. Because we're believing the same. We're confessing the same. We're manifesting the same, which is God. I don't know what religion, I don't know whatever you believe, but we're coming through as that one accord representation of God, the Spirit of God. Love. The medical ethics, we can't trust that. We can't depend on that. We see they're being together as institutional board meetings along with the government, the governmental institutions that's taking away our freedom, that's wanting to treat others better and less and finding who doing this, who got that. But you can't be treating yourself like that. You got to love yourself. So that's the work you need to be working on, to love yourself first, so you can start working on your dependence and your self-sufficiency with you and God. You are God. Be part of this fifth dimension. Be part of this manifestation. Hurry up, Wanda. No, I'm taking my time. And the Lord looked upon him and said, go in this might and then save Israel. What might? I'm talking to all us Gideons as one. Go in the power of God. God is doing this, and we are that God. We are God. To show up and show out, cut it off. And to save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? We going in the power of God. We talking as God. We walking as God. We speaking as God. We going in the power of the host of all them angels, of all of heaven, of all. We got the present help. We got this. We got this. But we got to be in that 5D. We got to be in that fifth dimension. I don't care what level of the fifth dimension. Just be in it. We got this. Just be a part of it. When God know our hearts, it's like you got the whole thing. If you got one part of it, you got it all. But we got to be a sincere heart. The foolishness. Okay, and the Lord looked upon him and said, go in this might. Okay, and he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor. Money ain't got nothing to do with it. Money don't have anything to do with it. It's not about how much or what you have. Step out there. Develop from here and watch what you have. Watch God do what he gonna do. Poor or not, money don't have anything to do with it. And I am the least. I'm the poorest and I'm the least. It sounds like the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Woo! That's what it sounds like to me. I'm the poorest and I'm the least. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. Governmental institutions, medical ethics, institutional board meetings, all of the monies, ones that do have all the monies, considering others to be above and not less and lesser, not deserving. Man putting the categories, who get what, who do, who did. Okay, all right. The last shall be first. The first shall be last. There is victory in the story. There is a victory at the end of this story. I'm the poorest and I'm the least of my fathers. And the Lord said unto him, surely I will be with you. I feel like God was saying, damn it, didn't I tell you money ain't got nothing to do with it? Didn't I tell you just go in me, be in me? I don't care if you the poorest, I don't care if you the bottom. You got to go in the power of me. You got to go in my might, my power, my strength, my wisdom, my knowledge. You got to work with me. Work with me. Come with me. We got this. But God got to do all that begging. We got something to compare to our innermost being. Is there something to compare to? Why God got to do all that? No, God ain't got to do all of that. He said, you choose this day what you'll serve, life or death. You choose this day. Follow your heart or trust your heart to direct you, to guide you. What you getting in your spirit? Let me show you how some of us going to be when we start getting messages from our spirit, from our heart. We're going to be like, oh, is that me or is that God? Let me show you. God is patient. The universe is patient with us. So, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man. I told you, this ain't about Gideon as one man. God is talking to us all as one. We're going to go in the power, in that one man power. We're going to defeat this when we come together, not physically. You see, you see their social distancing. Okay, social distancing. Does that mean we got to be, are we spiritual distance? No, baby, we are all one. One man finna fight this battle. 5D. Woo! Okay. So he say, I will be with you. Surely I will be with you. And I'm on Judges chapter 6. Verse 17, surely I will be with you and you will smite Midian, governmental institutions and so forth, those that's trying to take your freedom away, those that using you as a laboratory guinea pigs, those the medical ethics, they right along with that. There ain't no more 1800s it was the medical ethics to protect us from each other and also from these institutions that want to do experiments on human beings. That was the medical ethic in the 1800s. Their medical ethics was to protect us from those very institutions that wanted to do these experiments on human beings. This is not the 1800s. The medical ethics is right in oneness with the institutions that want to do the experiments on human beings. In 2020, in the 1900s, that was 1970 that I read. It is no more medical ethics like the 1800s. They done joined in with the institutions. Okay. Come on, Wanda. I will be with you and you will be as one man. And he said unto him, if now I found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign. This is where I was getting to. This is how some of us going to be when we get the message from God or from our spirit. We're going to be like, is that you, God? Is that me? I don't know. I don't believe this. You're not trusting your spirit. You gotta trust yourself.